up, everybody? Today, y'all here with the Goa and Bill Haney. He's the father and coach of the superstar Devin Haney, who's a former super lightweight champion. He won the IBF, WBA, WBO, WBC, and he won Ring Magazine. He's also the current WBC champion. Bill Haney has won Boxing Manager of the Year in 2023. He's also an amazing mentor and a perfect example how a father helps his son's dreams come true. He's also the CEO of DHP, Devin Haney Promotions. Last but not least, he's an amazing man that converted to Islam. We appreciate you for this interview.
Thank you, King. Thank you for the proper introduction, man.
Yeah.
You know.
No problem. I appreciate this. How do you tell life you love it, and how do you show your family that you understand them?
I think with my deep faith as a Muslim, alhamdulillah, Allah's the perfect planner, and it's always good. When it's bad, it's good. When it's good, it's good. So respecting life, enjoying it, and alhamdulillah. So that's the way I do with life. And with my family, it's about showing them. It's not always about talking, it's about being an example. And I think that as a father, you know, I want to be a good example for my sons to be a great father to my grandkids.
Yeah, with your family, you can be like when you said you want to lead by example, not just tell them, people could be like, do it, just like in a fight, they'd be like, just knock them out. People aren't telling them how to knock them out.
Right.
Or like people will be a double step back, you're not teaching the person how to double step back.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and how important do you think it is to pay attention to a person's mental health? Because a lot of the time we get caught up in the flashing lights and forget about a person's mental health.
Well, absolutely. Mental health is something that's real. That's on the forefront of everyone's conversations now. And I think that's what we need to do is stay focused and pay more attention to the mental health of our community in general, not just the athletes, but everyday people. You know, mental health is real.
Yeah, because a lot of people, these jobs, they're killing them. A lot of people, they keep working until they break down,
Yes.
like Legos.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But that's with having a faith. That's with having a belief in Allah. You know what I mean? That there's no breaking down. There's life, and life is to enjoy. Live it and live it and love it a lot.
And live it to the fullest.
Live it to the fullest.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
I'm always make sure I keep that in the in the front of my mind.
Yeah.
I always want to make sure I live life to the fullest.
I like how you said that. Keep it in the front of your mind versus the back of your mind.
Yeah.
I like that.
And can you explain to me how one of your life repercussions helped you see through a different lens?
I think my biggest repercussion was going to prison early on. I jumped off the porch too early in life and focused on, I was paying attention to short-term goals, you know, car, clothes, apartment, house, you know, that kind of stuff. And of course I got jammed up, went to prison, and in that process, my father died. And he was like my best friend. He was my best friend. And for me not being able to be there, you know, when he was sick towards the end, and actually I went to the funeral, but I went to the funeral in handcuffs. And my mom, grandmother, and all that, you know what I mean? So that was my repercussion, jumping off the porch, and that was my, you know, going to jail, going to prison.
You jumped the gun. And do you think you got there because you didn't listen?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like I told you off the camera, you know, you get one dad in life, right? You get one man in life that's going to tell you the truth. My father always told me the truth, and even when I didn't like it, you know, and now that he's gone, I know that, you know what I mean, he was the one man that gave it to me straight. And to disappoint him, jumping off the porch, jumping the gun, yeah, I suffered for real. And to this day, I think back, you know what I mean, if I had listened to my dad, where would I have been?
Well, that's sad. It's real sad.
Yeah, it's a real repercussion, the street life, you know. And I would like for anyone that's seeing this interview, right, to know that the relationship that you have with your dad is special. Your dad approached me about doing an interview with you, and I didn't hesitate. because your relationship with him is special. That's a special bond that you only get one.
Yeah, because a lot of these kids out here, they don't have dads.
No, and that's unfortunate. But the ones that do have dads, sometimes the relationship can be strained because there's an age disparity, right? And I say it's an experience disparity. When you have a man in your life that's experienced, and that could be an uncle, that could be a coach. I think that it's important to show enough respect to them to listen and to try to understand, even if you don't do it. But the important is to listen and try to understand where they're coming from, because they've actually been where you're at.
It's like in the ring, you're not listening. Your coach tells you something, but when you after the fight, you look at it, you realize what he was saying was right, because what he sees outside the ring, you didn't see in the ring.
Right, exactly. That's your second set of eyes, And I always say that you can fly a plane a short distance, but when you really want to go, you're gonna need a co-pilot. And that's what I've always been with Devin throughout his career, and all my kids, is the co-pilot. It's their dream, it's their vision, and I'm there to support them.
And has there ever been a time where Devin Haney was at a low point and you helped him pick his head up? Was there ever a time where you were at your lows and Devin said, "Pick your head up, Pops"?
Well, you know what? Both. I believe Devin has been at a low point. Anytime that any of my kids aren't smiling, right, or they're in that place of discomfort, right, it also puts me in a place of discomfort, because I want best for them. I think one of the times I was at a low was when the decision was read for the Ryan Garcia fight. But when Devin grabbed the mic and he said, "Allah's the perfect planner," right? That picked me up. I was 10 feet tall after seeing him be such a man and also lean into his faith and Allah. So, yeah. And as far as that's lifting me up. But now, as far as him, anytime that I see him not smiling, I'm right there. Like, "What's up, champ? What's up?" You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But any long-term depression or any kind of long time where he's been down, no, because it's our faith in Allah that keeps us up.
So you really must have been proud as a father when Devin said Allah is the best planner.
Absolutely.
Because that's the moment when you see your son get to be a man.
Yeah, but as a dad, but even as a Muslim, to see him stand on his faith and then in front of the world at a time where, could have been our low point, right? For him to do that, man, I was 10 feet tall.
So you really must have been proud.
Yeah, I'm very proud of him.
Is there a book you can recommend for me?
Yeah, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yeah, I seen it. I was reading it too, but I wasn't there mentally when I was reading books.
Yes.
I wasn't really into books that much as I am now.
Yeah, well, you got to get that one. You got to get the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich. Those are two that stand out to me.
Yeah, and I think Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a good book. When I think, if I can remember, it was about how there's two different points in life, where you can be always needy and stuff like that, but you can also be grateful too.
Yes.
For things you don't have in life.
No, absolutely. And what I took from the Rich Dad, Poor Dad was that there's a business within a business. For example, they use the McDonald's franchise, I believe. It was quite some time ago, but I believe them. But it applies to all franchises, is that the business, that they aren't in the business of selling hamburgers. They're in the business of buying properties. So it's a business within a business. And I'm heavily invested in property in my community where I grew up in Oakland. So I got that from Think and Grow Rich. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
So it changed your life.
Absolutely. That book was very profound. You got to read it. You got to read that book.
Yeah. I'm going to make sure I read it again.
Absolutely.
And my last question is always the same question. Without the money, cars, or jewelry, even without family, respectfully, how do you find happiness within you? And you can't mention family.
Alhamdulillah. It's faith is everything. And my belief as a Muslim, that it's good when it's bad, and it's good when it's good. Allah is the perfect planner. So, yeah, I'm just happy. I'm happy to be living, you know?
Yeah, it's good that you're happy. A lot of people aren't happy. And especially when you can seek the good things out of the bad, which is a lesson. Nobody ever understands how to mentally take that in. Everybody goes crying and taking the negative in, not the positive.
Well, you know, sometimes with crying is a natural emotion. You know, the emotions that we have, you know, we sometimes can't control, but the way, we can't control what happens. We can only control how we look at it. And if you can step back and say, okay, this is something that I'm going through, but this is not something that I am, that I can get through it to get to it, then that's everything in the world to me, you know. And I have a assistant, executive assistant, and she helps me out. And she's like, she wants to be a public speaker and stuff like that. And she tells me, wow, my story is amazing, right? What I've been through, the highs and the lows, the roller coaster in life. And I tell her, well, yours will be too, as you live. And as you understand that those lows will become highs. Those lows that you go through, those will be the times you'll stand on the stage and you'll say, well, what I've been through, you know? And
those will be the moments you cherish.
yeah, those will be the moments you cherish. So right now, you need to be taping and filming everything that you do. Don't wait till you have the big mansion and the cars and all that stuff. Because when you get the mansion and you get the cars, you know what they're gonna ask you?
What?
Show me the pictures when you were grinding. They're gonna want to see the times when you were working hard, when you were coming up. You're like, man, why do y'all want to see that? Don't you want to see the car? Don't you want to see all this? They're like, no, we want to see what you come from. So right now,
They want to see what you accomplished.
right now, you're living in that. And to me, it's like you run to the problem. You see the problem, you run to it, get through it, and it defines your character. It makes you a better man and gives you a testimony.
Well, you heard it from the man himself, Bill Haney. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Kane.
I appreciate this a lot.